I guess.
Welcome to Dental Unscripted, where Mike Dinzio and Paula Quinn break down the practice ownership journey, one episode at a time. Starting up, buying, and running a successful dental practice.
What up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Dental Unscripted. My name's Mike Dinzio. We also have Paula Quinn on the program today, and we are continuing Shark Bite Week, episode 2, and we're super excited to have a friend in our little sphere of influence who I think is kind of one of these guys that knows all things about tech and AI and all the things, but we're going to just get into his head today. Well, good morning, Paula. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I got my chocolate chip bar. I've got a week and a day of podcast today. So I've got the water. I've got all the things. We're going to be streaming all day today. So
fancy night oats. These are kind of my thing.
Night oats. Well, and Adrian just got some coffee.
It's mushroom coffee.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah. Well, welcome to the show, Adrian. Actually, now's a good time to introduce you, the CEO of My Social Practice. We're super excited to have you, buddy. Tell us a little bit about My Social Practice and, a little bit about what you do on a day-to-day. Introduce yourself to the audience. Yeah.
Let me look at my script here really quick.
Love it. Do it.
Can I use my script?
Yeah.
Am I not allowed?
You're literally allowed. Well, we're just gonna scrape it through ChatGPT afterwards. So just go ahead and read that. And
all right, cool. Well, I appreciate that. Thanks for inviting me on. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, man.
So we've been we got started in 2009 as a social media dental company, dental marketing company. That's why we call ourselves.
I remember that. You just had
man.
Like
the signs. Remember the signs?
Yeah. The signs were a hit, so
all the things.
Anyway, but over the years, that kind of we got in really, really early. I mean, nobody else was out there doing social media for dentists. But that kind of took off. We rode the wave of social media in the early, 2009, 10, 11, 12. And then we just started getting asked to do other marketing services by our clients. So we did website development. We added that. We started doing reputation management, digital advertising, SEO, blah, blah, blah. We do all the digital marketing. So our name really doesn't represent us very well because it's kind of a social media-esque name. We should probably change our name.
Why don't you figure that out after the program?
Okay, dude.
You don't want to ask Michael and I about changing our name.
Oh gosh, changing our name.
Your project, and we never changed it.
Yeah. It's a mind screw. It's tough.
It's like changing a child's name like halfway through their life. It's like it's so hard.
Yeah, totally.
But we think of you as like, especially on your podcast, what's it called again?
Bite-sized.
So it's perfect. It's a Shark Bite Week.
BY. Yours is bite like bite.
No.
Mine's bite like digital bite.
So we usually do every year. Michael does Shark Week, and this year we wanted to, in addition to Shark Week, we wanted to do.
Oh, you use the BY.
Oh,
okay.
All right,
I gotcha. Yeah.
This is our tech week, so it's Shark.
Oh, nice. I love it.
Week.
Yeah. So
fitting having you on here.
So again, like this week's all about like tech, AI, and how it's affecting the dental industry. So we're doing a whole week. This is episode 2, and first episode was with Tim, and Folks, if you missed that, go back and
Oh,
watch it. But
Where was I?
you were on it, Paula. So Tim kind of broke down what is AI, like how does it work?
What's in this? No.
What is happening right now?
Yeah.
Tim kind of broke down what is AI, how's it look, how's it going to impact all industries, just kind of like a global outlook on all AI. And this is the first episode that we're getting into on dental specific, because we live in the world of dental, and Tim has this huge background on AI in general. And so that was a good one to start off with. But today's episode and the rest of the episodes are going to be all about how AI and tech is really affecting our little industry in dental. And we're happy to have you on, man. So
Thanks,
without further ado, I mean, Paula, why don't you kind of tee up what you were thinking with Adrian and Annie and all the things that they're doing and why you think it might make sense. Actually, it actually might make sense for Adrian to let us know about how you guys are playing with AI and Annie and all the different things. And then
I'll start because I'll tell you why I wanted him on here. I mean, like he just said, there's lots of things they do, so it's not the only thing they're known for. But what really attracted me to them more recently is, we're constantly getting by our clients, all things startup, practice management, acquisition of who do we, how do we get the phone answered, especially our startups, how do we get the phone answered, or do we bring on a new second person? So then we started talking about outsourcing, and we did an episode on outsourcing, and this was just in general, or maybe we even did a webinar. I don't know what we did on that. And I thought, what better than having something that's available 24/7. We either have to pay a teammate, if they take the phone home, it's like, no offense, are they really going to answer it? When they're even in the office, they're getting up and doing things, or they're already on the phone. So there was that aspect of it. Then there's, increasing overhead with payroll is a big deal. And I love that with Annie, and you can dive into this, Adrian, because I'm going to give it a very broad, like, not do her justice, but you train her, she learns. And so I know with me, you and I had talked about, if I did it, I could teach it how verbally I say things. If somebody wants to cancel, or if somebody, how much it cost, or, things like that. So I thought it was very cool. Number one, she could be there all the time, not to mention, and you can talk about that, not just answering the phone, the other things that I know she can do. And then, you can cut costs by having, this person available and train them. People get grumpy by the end of the day, the end of the week. They get annoyed by certain conversations. They don't even know how to answer sometimes, how much is a crown, but if you can take some time and teach her this, which she probably already knows the answer to that one. But, I just think it's a really cool option. So you can take it from there.
Okay. No, I appreciate that's a good overview of like thoughts and ideas about Annie. Let me back up a little bit and tell you why we even did this.
Okay.
Is that cool? To give you a little bit of background. So, we're a marketing company. We're hired to put butts in seats. We don't put butts in seats. We get fired.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
We get fired.
Well, that's what's supposed to happen.
Right. So when you look at all of the marketing stuff that you can do for a dental practice, right? A dental practice can run ads, they can do referral programs, they can do social media, SEO, whatever, anything, reputation management, ranking higher in Google Maps, whatever, all the ideas to be found. All the things, right? What happens is, if you're doing all of that, you're driving traffic to sometimes the website or the Google business profile or whatever it might be. And we know that 2/3 of consumers do not want to make phone calls. They want to chat. Okay. They would rather chat than make a phone call. All of the weird generations below my generation, that includes Paula, yeah, don't want to make a phone call. They prioritize. They prioritize their time. They don't want to waste time on a phone call. They want to chat. So I did all this research. This is back in 2019. I did all this research. I looked at like 2,000 dental practice websites. The average dental practice the percentage of practices that had web chat on their website was like
1%,
like less than 10% or something like that, right? And almost all of them weren't chat. They were like, you'd click on the little chat button in the bottom right-hand corner of the site, and up would come a form. They weren't even chat. They were masquerading as chat.
And this was 2019.
This is 2019. Okay.
Yeah.
So chat is supposed to be immediate on-demand support. That's what the expectation is. If Paula goes to a website and she clicks on chat, if she gets a tree choice, or a phone tree type thing, she's like, this is not chat. I want to talk to somebody. I want to answer my question right now. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So in the dental industry, of the 10% of practices that actually had is there a cat? Did I hear a cat?
Michael, is there a cat there?
Oh my gosh, there's a cat. Okay.
Not in my house.
I thought I heard it.
She's trying to push this off on me. It's definitely her cat.
Okay. Sorry. I just threw me off. I heard a cat. Like,
you're literally
Adrian,
you're literally pissing off Reese right now.
She's trying to
I had this super solid train of thought. And then a cat came in and jumbled up my freaking brain.
Wait, Adrian, do you have cats in your brain right now?
Pretty much.
Oh my gosh. Let's go.
So anyway, all right. so anyway, all these chat things that these practices had, like, they weren't even chat. They were just a form, like the same form they have on their website on their contact us page. So I'm like, this is it, man. We can get more people to schedule if we just add chat to the websites. Okay. Yeah. So we added chat, and it was a real functioning chat. It was like, you go, patient goes there, they type into chat, it pings the office, somebody in the office responds. Yep. It was what chat should be.
Yep.
We put it on a few dozen practices, and every single practice called us back and said, take this damn thing off our website. We can't handle all the chats.
Oh, I can't wait to hear why. Just that? They can't handle it?
It's super intrusive. Like, think about it. You got a front desk.
People are having conversations with
they're talking to a patient. They're on the phone.
So they do that all day long. They're texting on their cell phones, though.
I don't know, Paula. You need to freaking figure out how to solve the problem.
Okay.
So, like, every practice, like, no, we can't handle it. It's too intrusive, and because chat should be an immediate on-demand support. Mm-hmm. If you don't respond, it's a bad experience for the patient, right? Yeah. So they're like, just remove it. We can't manage it. It wasn't the response that I thought we were going to get. So what we decided is like, let's think about how we can solve this problem. Do we hire a bunch of 40-year-old men that are still living with their moms in their basement to manage chat, or outsource to the Philippines and get live chat, like the human beings doing it? Do we, come up with, I don't know, there was a bunch of things we were thinking about. We just said, let's just kill the project. We don't want to manage 40-year-old men living in their mom's basements, managing chat. So we just killed the project. So then when ChatGPT came out, I was like, oh my gosh, this is it. Like, if we could train ChatGPT and we could this is November 2022. We could isolate the framework of ChatGPT so that it was a front desk receptionist and it understood everything about the practice, then there's no bandwidth issue. There's no problem with the team, because the agent can, like, carry on a conversation. And then if you could do other things like linking it to your practice management system so it could actually schedule or reschedule or take a payment or whatever it might be, then this becomes like an extension of your team. You just extend your operating dollars at a fraction of the cost of hiring a new employee, and it frees up the bandwidth and it provides a better experience for the patient.
That makes sense.
So that's where we went with it. And so we launched that about a year and a half ago, and it's freaking awesome. Like, chat is so easy to set up a really, really good chat. And we built it from the ground up. We didn't like white label some other's chat system out there because we knew that the viability long term of this product in the dental industry is going to be super nuanced. Like one practice is going to want to manage their schedule this way. And if the agent's tied to scheduling, you're going to have to build a framework so that it schedules correctly for this particular practice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or to your point, Paula, one practice might want to handle the how much does a crown cost this way, and one might want to handle it this way, right?
Yeah.
So tell them the price, don't tell them the price. Dodge the question and ask a follow-up question. You know, there's all of a sudden you get into like sales skills and all this kind of stuff, right? Yeah. So we wanted to build in a sales framework so that we could build in, you know, coaching, like what you guys do. Like if you go to a practice, you're training a front desk staff member, you have a scripting style, right? We wanted to have the ability that the agent could inject that scripting style or that sales framework into a particular agent for one practice, right? So we built all that, and then it is awesome. And then we tied it to a voice, and then we tied it to a phone number so now it can pick up calls. Okay. And to the point of what we were trying to accomplish, which is like, how do we get a higher conversion rate on all this marketing that we're doing? All of a sudden we fell with this product. We just kind of fell into the, holy cow, we can solve the missed calls problem, which is like a third of phone calls go missed in a dental practice, which is unbelievable.
Wow. Yeah. That is the statistic that
It's
third
freaking
of
crazy.
all. I mean, it's insane when, you know, you guys as marketing companies get, like you said in the beginning of the episode, get so judged and threatened to be dropped because you're not doing your job. But then on the other hand,
the
office is not doing their job either. And if they
Right.
did pick up the phone, what's the conversion rate? That's another statistic that's super fun to talk about.
Yeah.
By the time the funnel goes all the way down, it's like, how many did you actually convert? You know, you missed a third of them, and then someone asked how much is a crown, and you didn't answer that right, and you lose the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll tell you, I feel your pain. Okay, I have trained in previous life. I trained salespeople, right? So I had a deep background in telesales, right? Training somebody to say things properly, lead conversations, ask the right questions. It's like the hardest thing to do. It is so finesse. There's so much technical specificity in listening and asking and leading the conversation. Like
one word
so
changes
hard.
the whole thing, right? It just changes
absolutely.
the whole thing.
So going into a practice and training that front desk to not freaking screw up and answer and get bulldogged by the patient who just wants a price rather than managing the conversation properly. Dude, that is like, there's so much money left on the table in a dental practice. It's like, it's got to be ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
Because dental practices, they don't hire salespeople to answer the phone. They hire the 22-year-old college student who's never had any sales experience.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
They don't know how to build relationships. They don't know how to build trust. They don't know how to
they have to hire for experience usually. I mean, they themselves, we talk about it all the time with dentists. They're not business people either. So they're trying to service people. They're trying to, do a service. They don't realize all this other stuff. It's a business, and you got to have salespeople as your front office, salespeople as your treatment coordinator, stuff like that. So they don't get that. They're like, oh, Paula's worked in the industry for 10 years. She's worked up front before. Perfect. Doesn't matter what I can do or not do.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, the whole point of that is that you can actually train AI to like stick to the freaking script. You know what I mean?
So there's the crescendo, right? So we have human beings doing a job. Oftentimes those same human beings are making less. Paul and I talk about this a lot, making less than what you could make at Wendy's serving French fries. No training, no CE, front office people don't get CE like hygienists, dental assistants, doctors. No CE, no training. They learned what they learned from Greta from 16 years ago, right? That's what we're dealing with here.
Yeah.
A French fry worker that got trained by Greta 1700 years ago.
Wait, and I'll wait. I'm going to give him a little credit because what I'm going to say too is though, it is hard when you have you're off guard, right? Like someone calls and they say, oh, I'd like to make an appointment. Okay, what for? Oh, a crown. Like, how much does a crown cost? I do hear people freeze. It's kind of like, how do I handle this? It's when and that's why it has to be a skill. It can't just be a script because then, people ask me all the time to write scripts for them. Well, the problem is that the next question from the patient is completely different. Now your script is screwed. It's gone.
Yeah. You have to memorize. You have to memorize
like 3 or 4
multiple through lines.
Yeah. It's got to flow. You can't just be like, oh, what's the next? It's not like my computer won't turn on. Did you unplug it and plug it back in?
Yeah, and I'm not saying, of course, I'm making a point. I tend to push on the furthest
just
end.
In case Greta's listening, I wanted to.
Yeah, no, there's some amazing front office people.
We love you, Greta. We love you, Greta.
Greta's amazing. It's just, quite frankly, they are set up to fail. Let's just put it that way. They're set up to fail. That's the appropriate way.
I have a question for Adrian about Annie and teaching her. So I'm assuming she comes pretty well equipped with just everyday knowledge, or do you have to start from ground zero with each practice?
No, what we've basically done is we built her on top of ChatGPT. Okay. So the conversational capabilities, the being able to understand human language is the same engine that drives ChatGPT. Okay. So you take that, or you use that as its brain, okay? But then what you do is you give it a layer, or you give her. It's weird because it's an AI and you call her. It's kind of freaking weird. I don't know.
Her name's Annie.
I don't know. Maybe we should just stick to the they them, so that we
that
don't know
be...
what it is exactly, or I don't know. So
that
was not
smart.
a jab on the LGBTQ because I love.
No, that's actually smart. I like that.
But Annie's
well,
a
you say Annie, so I'm assuming.
All right. Anyway, that was a stupid joke, but here we go. So, there's a layer that is a generalized front desk receptionist in the dental industry layer. Here's who you are, right? These are the types of words that you use. This is the base information that you know, and this is dentistry wide. Okay, you're a GP front desk office receptionist. You're an orthodontic front desk, person. Right. You're an endo, whatever. So they have these base layer agents that just like, this is your identity. Okay. Then you put another layer on top of it that is everything about the practice. Like 10,000 pages of whatever you want. You put it all in there. Okay. History.
Like, give
like the name, the hours, the name,
hours, insurances they do or don't take, the history of the practice, how to find the practice if you're lost, right?
Do you have a guide? Because to come up with all of that is probably difficult, right?
Well, usually what happens is when we do the onboarding process, we'll do an interview with the practice. We'll record the transcript in the interview. We'll inject the interview in. So there's an asset that it can look.
And you're asking me all that in that interview, like what's the name of your practice?
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. We gather all the we confirm all the details about the practice, phone number, website, all that kind of stuff. But we're also getting like tone, sentiment. What do you want to be known for? How do you want to be perceived in the industry? What's your value proposition? If they know what that is, we'll explain it and come up with one. But then we're taking everything in the website, we're injecting it. We're taking their insurance. If they're in network, then we're taking all of their insurance documents. We're injecting all the insurance documents in. So, and then that's kind of, it takes about a week to get it like built out, right? Well, once we've done that, then what we do is we build so we've got the base layer, we've got the layer for the practice, And then what we do is we set up a development a development site where we can test it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And this is really where the genius comes in. So you go to this, it's a little web chat. It's like a little web chat, and you can just ask it questions and see how it responds. This is before it goes live.
I called her one day when you gave me it. And
Oh, did you?
I had some fun. Did you guys record that? Did you get to go back?
I've got it recorded. It's recorded. Everything. Yeah, somewhere I could go find it. Anyway, you probably asked it some bad questions, didn't you?
I tried.
She's very polite.
But when you're dialoguing and she messes up, that's an opportunity. And this is the amazingness of AI is, no, you did that wrong. Learn from this.
Yeah. So you're just basically tweaking and tweaking and tweaking. And the more you do, the better she gets. And she always remembers. Mm-hmm. And so you don't have to retrain. Mm-hmm. And then all you're doing is like the practices. I've had we've got a couple hundred practices that are using Annie, right? So we've had about a year of time to kind of develop her and whatnot. And I've had maybe 2 or 3 practices cancel, like very, very few. And the reason they canceled in all the situations, almost all of them, I think, maybe one of them, maybe not, is they wanted to go live very fast and they didn't want to tweak and train. And so the agent screws up one conversation because they didn't test it. And then they're like, yeah, this is stupid. I'm done. I don't want to risk the reputation of my practice with this stupid AI thing. So we force the practices to some degree to go through a long kind of process of iteration before you go live, so you don't screw up. So that's how you do it.
And so
that's when the team is like, how much is a crown?
Yeah. So then we're going to sales frameworks, all that kind of stuff.
They get back.
Like for a client like you, right? If you had a script, here's how you handle, do you accept my insurance? If you had that script written, we would inject that in there and they would use it.
Right.
Here's kind of like a tree. Like, if the patient doesn't respond this way, but they respond this way, here's how you respond to that question. That's injected in there. And then the AI is just so freaking good. It just knows how to use all that information and weave it into the conversation.
Right.
And then it's really just kind of pointing it left or right if you see a conversation that didn't go exactly like you wanted.
So like, would you consider this like version 1 or like version 3? Yeah,
this is version 2 for us. So we have a V2. We're coming out with a V2.5 in the next couple of weeks. So it's super early in the development of this stuff.
It's like I tell my clients, like, look, like this is wave 1 across the board on all these different AI things, and it's really never going to be 100% on wave 1, right? And so, do you want to be the first guy, the guy that waits a couple versions, whatever? But like, okay, I mean, so it's answering everything exactly the way you want it to, but does it sound like a real person? Does it have the pauses? It's probably not quite there yet. I mean, where do you see this going?
Still, I mean, to the voices from just a year ago to now it's unbelievable how good they've gotten.
Wow.
You can still kind of tell that it's an AI agent. I mean, there's still sometimes, I mean, they're so good though. You kind of have to, you have to listen to it and kind of like really, kind of zone in on it.
Yeah.
But you could kind of still, there's some hollowness sometimes. Sometimes the delay in their responses are a little too long or a little too short. They answer too quick or too slow. They sometimes will maybe repeat some information. Like they might repeat the patient's name multiple times. It's odd for a human to repeat their name. Oh, thank you, Michael. Thank you, Paula. And then the next comment, by the way, Michael, they're saying the name too much. That's finessing and trying to figure out how to get the agent to sound more and more human-like. But that's not, I think that's not the goal of AI agents. I don't think the agent's goal is to become so human that you can't tell the difference, because I don't think that you should I mean, we tell all of our clients, you announce to the patient that it's AI. You should do that. There's no reason to try and trick them into thinking this is a real person. Okay. There's no benefit to it. And there's really no disadvantage to announcing that it's an AI, because, you know, if it does a good job and it solves the problem and answers the question for the patient, then who cares if it's a human or not, right?
Now can the patient bail on it as
Yeah,
soon
you
as
just
they
hang up.
want?
Yeah, you hang up.
Well, how do you get to a person? Because that's the most frustrating thing.
So
Let's say I'm a patient and you announce that you're AI.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, I'm in it with.
I need to talk to somebody.
I'm with a freaking robot right now. That's what a patient's thinking.
So
they're already salty. Then they ask a question.
Okay.
And it answers wrong, not the way I
or
whatever. Now I'm pissed. So I'm a Zennial or even younger, and I'm like, fuck this. Like, I'm over it already. Like, done.
We can say the F word on this podcast.
It's called unscripted. Adrian.
Holy cow! I could have dropped so many F words already.
It is uncensored as well.
yeah. Like, but like, can I bail on it quickly? Because that can escalate quick. What I'm talking about. Are you with me?
Yeah, I'm with you. All right. So I'm going to answer the question. Let's get really specific. Okay?
Oh boy.
Are you calling during working hours?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're calling during the day, during working hours.
Yeah, because I would have a little bit more forgiveness after hours.
All right. So you're calling during the day. So what you would do here is when you set up the agent, you can set it up to pick up all phone calls. You can set up to only pick up calls that would have gone to voicemail, however you want to do it.
2, 3 rings, whatever.
Yeah, let's say that these are calls that would potentially go to voicemail. The agent picks up. Agent picks up and says, "Hi, this is Annie. I'm the practice's AI assistant. How can I help you? You're pissed. You have a question. You need to talk to a real person or something like that." Okay, so there's a few things that you can do. One, that the team's busy, assumed the team is busy because the call wasn't answered in the first place. Okay. They're either at lunch, they're super, super busy, whatever that might be. So if you tell the agent, because the agent can forward the call back they can just ring the office back and forward the call. It can do that. Okay. But you don't want to do that if they're not freaking there. Right. So you would train the agent to say something like, so if you say, "I need to talk to somebody at the office, you're not answering my question," the agent, recognizing the tone and as well as like what you're saying, can have a protocol that says something like, "I am so sorry that I'm unable to answer your question. Unfortunately, the team asked me to pick the call up or had me pick the call up because they're at lunch or they're busy. But I can send them a text. I can give them your information and the question, and they will call you right back."
Oh, boom. Beautiful. Love it.
So you solve it that way. So that's why like that particular situation where, you're texting, you're understanding, like you're working in a dental practice. They might be at lunch. They might be busy. And the politeness. And that's why this is so like freaking cool, because the narrower you get in terms of like who the agent is, the better the product becomes. It's deep, it's narrow and deep rather than broad and wide. Like if you go online, you can find at least, 125,000 different AI agents that you can buy now. They're freaking everywhere, right? Wow. There's just so many of them because you can set them up so quick, but they're broad.
Yeah.
And they don't have that narrowness.
So I'm like a data, like I understand by, facts and reason kind of thing. Right. Okay. So I was just having this conversation with a client of mine. I'm like, I went to marketing school and I thought it was all marketing, but it was all statistics. And I hated that because, you do all this stuff and then you get to track it to see if it works. That's marketing. It's not, hey, does this look cool? People can respond. It's, oh, let's try that and then track it. And oh, that's definitely not cool. Right. Right. So early success, you've put this on. Do you have any before or after? I'm putting you on the spot. You might not. but do you have wins to talk about? Do you have
Oh yeah, totally. No.
Yeah. What's that look like? Like I was in an office that missed, like I'm thinking DSOs. Paul, we went into a DSO once. We snooped around with some California member that were a hot mess, and they missed on average 100 calls a day. Like it was insanity how many calls they were missing. This was pre-COVID. So like someone that was just absolute garbage and then put Annie on and like schedule busy. Like, do you have some early success stories?
I actually have some specific case studies, but I don't have them prepared to show, but I'll give you kind of a range of what we're seeing. So average practices, doesn't matter if you're a single practice or a DSO, they're missing somewhere between 75 calls a month at the lower end to 250 at the higher end. So that's kind of the main bell curve. Somewhere a couple, 100, 200, 250 calls a month. Okay. That's pretty typical.
Yeah.
We do have a few clients that are missing more, the agent picks up more than 1,000 calls a month, which is just absolutely insane. Yeah, it's crazy. 1,000 calls. They just
That's
are so
what they
busy.
were missing before. Oh my God.
Yeah. So of the calls that come in, approximately 70% of the calls are active patients and 30% are new patients. That's a pretty general break in terms of like the types of calls that come in.
How many were new?
So 30%.
30%. That makes sense.
Right around 30%.
I heard the other way. Like, perfect.
Yeah. So, if you're a practice, you miss a couple hundred calls a month, you got right around 60 new patient phone calls. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what practices are using, if they're not using AI, is they're using voicemail. Voicemail, the statistics are really freaking strong on this. About 80% of people don't even leave voicemail anymore. Okay. That's 75, 80%. Yeah. Paula raises her hand again. Right.
Course.
All right. So
I don't leave
do
on
the math.
Listen to it either.
Yeah. Do the math. You miss 200 calls, 30% of them, 60 calls are new patient phone calls. Of those, 80%, I don't know what that number is, 50, 45, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Go to voicemail. They don't leave a voicemail. Okay. That's like a real scenario of I would think is probably middle of the row kind of a practice. All right. So that's the opportunity. Okay. That's the opportunity. Not even talking about the benefit of all the calls that are answered by the active patients at, during work hours or in the evening, and the AI is able to pick it up and handle the call. Right.
Yeah.
And maybe task the team to follow up or whatever. So there's the improved customer service benefit, but just on the money. Mm-hmm. So picking up those calls, I see that the agent is able to go a full conversation on between 50 to 70% of the calls. So let's say you get 50 phone calls. Some of the calls, the people hang up because they hear it's AI and they're just like, I'll call back later. So it's not like 100%. It's like a silver bullet, right? Okay. What are you smiling?
I raised my hand.
Oh, yeah. You hang up because it's an AI agent.
The minute it's an AI, I'm out.
Right.
I'm not even calling. I'm going to use
you're using the chat. Yeah, you're using the chat on the website.
We can talk about before we're done here.
So anywhere between 50 to 70% of those calls there's a full conversation. And we've tied Annie right into the online scheduling, so it actually schedules and everything. So I see on average for the smaller practices, now this is just generally speaking, smaller practices, ones that are missing 75 to 100 calls a month, I'm seeing between 5 to 10 appointments scheduled and actually showing up. Like we track the whole thing through so that scheduled, they show up and they're presented a case, and then we pull that revenue number back in. And I'm seeing somewhere around $5,000, $7,000, $8,000 in additional revenue every month. Okay, that's on the lower end.
Those are busy offices, though. We work with some small offices.
Is that average?
Well, I was saying this is somebody that's missing about 75 to 100 calls a month. So that might be bigger than like a startup, right? It's somebody who's probably, doing $1 million a year or something like $800,000 a year.
I mean, that's what I don't have data on. That's what bothers me when I'm coaching and I'm talking to a marketing guy. So this is a great conversation.
Like how many calls they're missing?
Well, not only how many calls they're missing, but how many of those are converting. There's a few services out there where I can track calls coming in, missed or converted.
Right.
And that's the piece that I'm missing, because I always get the call. I always get the email. Yeah. I need more patience. Yeah, it's like, well, I don't know what's broke here. Yeah. Is it the marketing company? Is it Greta? Is it you who can't sell treatment when they actually do show up? I don't know. Right. Yeah. There's a lot.
And what's the benchmark? And what's the benchmark? Yeah, so,
so when you say that many calls, I'm thinking, shit, that's a DSO pulling in a lot of calls.
Yeah.
I don't know. So
let me just tell you on the upper end though. That's like the lower end. I think I've looked at so we're tracking all the conversations and the scheduled appointments, the AI agent schedules, and the revenue generated from those patients. The lowest I've seen is like $3,000 in a month in new revenue. Okay.
Wow.
On the high end, it's like $60,000 to $65,000.
Wow. God.
It's in revenue from scheduled appointments on the AI agent. It's insane.
I'm just gonna.
That's a big practice. That's like a $3 million practice. You know what I mean?
Holy.
So
crazy.
Anyway, it's like there's this money. It's like money's just on the table.
Wow.
And nobody's picking it up. It's like crazy.
Well, that's great. Okay,
anyway.
That's beautiful.
Elaborate just a tad real quick on, we talked for a minute. We don't have to go deep into this because we've been on here for a while, but
2 minutes. You got 2 minutes to answer whatever Paul is going to ask.
Just real quick, the chat and the outbound calls now that it's doing for.
Oh yeah.
Because one thing I will say is we, as being consultants, try every day to get somebody to work. I know unscheduled treatment, I don't think you've tapped into yet, but recare and unscheduled treatment, and
work the phones, baby. Work the
phones. Yeah. And we use dental intel, and I think you've seen it before. They always have this pie of active patients versus what unscheduled, and it's usually not always. I have some offices who are bomb biggity. It's usually about 50%, I'm not going to lie, of their total active patients for the past 18 months that don't have a next appointment.
Yeah.
We could just get them on hygiene.
You get them back.
Holy cow. So just real quick, I guess you have 2 minutes. And I
have like a minute and a half now.
No, he said you
30 seconds.
He didn't time me.
45 seconds.
He didn't time me. He timed me.
Well, we're going live in 15 minutes on the next Shark Bite episode. So we got to go. But no, this is a beautiful question.
Shush.
Okay, so here's the deal.
You only got a minute now.
The agent initially was built to receive calls, but it did not have the capability to call outbound. Okay. So we built that in now. We launched it about a month ago, and we launched it specifically for hygiene recare. So what it'll do is it'll query the patient management system. It'll look for active patients who have not been seen in whatever time frame you've given that do not have a future hygiene appointment. And then it just calls and then texts and calls and texts, whatever framework you set up. But it's just calling, and it's scheduling at about 5 to 8% is its conversion rate, which I think is pretty damn close.
We have statistics on this. That's
what
probably. Paul looks at it more than I do, but that's probably average.
Yeah, I think that's what we were estimating is it's probably average.
And by the way, it's better because no one does it.
No one's having to do it.
That's right.
And I think we may have missed that. And I want to just reiterate, it actually schedules into the PMS.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And then the case acceptance module to be able to read the case that was presented that was not accepted. That's what we're working on right now.
That's going to be a holy shit.
Dude, that's a holy shit level. That's the next level right there. Yeah. I love that.
Yep.
Well, that's exciting. We'll have to bring you back on when you've got some stats and some success on that. But let's take maybe 5 minutes and wrap this thing up. Okay. This is the part of Shark Bite Week where I'm just going to ask you, Adrian, how do you see AI changing the dental industry in the next 2 years?
Okay. Yeah, I'll give you a couple things. I'm going to go outside of just the AI agents too. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, outside your realm, just in general.
Okay.
What your
just in general
perspective
All right.
is. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
We're going to see a consolidation of all of the softwares that have been developed for different functions, and they're going to consolidate into larger companies. So you've got several companies that do insurance verification with AI or human in the loop with AI. Okay. You've got diagnostic tools, Pearl, Overjet, those kind of companies. You've got agents like us. You've got the voice and note-taking agents that upload conversations and they create tasks for the team. All of these companies have jumped into this game to develop really super important tools, but they're going to start consolidating, and they're already doing that. If you buy Pearl, you get a function in Pearl, and I don't know exactly what the width and breadth of this product is, but they have insurance verification or some portion of it. But then you can go to eAssist, you can go to other companies that have a insurance verification with AI and human in the loop kind of stuff. Those are going to start consolidating, because what's happening is doctors are now, if they get all the AI products, they're spending $3,000 a month, and there's like duplication of effort across the board.
They cross over.
Plus there's integration fees for every single company. So freaking Henry Schein, if they were using Dentrix, gets paid like 8 different times, to whatever. Anyway, so those are going to consolidate. 2, voicemail is going to go away. The agents are going to get so good at having conversations on the phone. It's using voicemail as an ancient technology. Okay. 3, AI search, what we call GEO or AEO, where they're putting Google Gemini, the AI overviews at the top of search. ChatGPT has picked up a lot of search traffic. Is going to completely revolutionize how patients find you online. That's a huge shift that we're right in the middle of.
I couldn't agree more.
Massive.
Someone found us once through ChatGPT. They asked who's
the best consultant? It was It was amazing. They said who's top 10 dental consultants. It gave 10. Okay, which one would be better at whatever they search? And it put us at number 1. I don't know why, but another example of that is this. A couple of weeks ago, my dog was having a thing on the weekend, and I did the normal Google search, and I was frustrated with trying to figure that one out. I'm like, screw it, ChatGPT. Who's the best vet in my area that can do urgent care, not emergency, urgent care? Gave me, I don't like any of these Google star ratings. Give me better. Like, okay, but that one's emergency. I just want urgent care. Oh, sorry. Yeah, boom. And I called 2 and booked an appointment. Yeah. That's literally what you're talking about, right?
Yeah. Exactly. Showing up in AI search, and how to do that is what we call GEO, generative engine optimization. It's kind of like the new SEO. That's a big freaking deal. Like it's a $2 trillion business. It's so massive, and we're like really right in the middle of it. And so doctors are going to have to figure out, how do I get referenced and sourced as a citation or a reference inside the AI responses?
You call that what?
It's called GEO, generative engine optimization.
Yeah, so that's it. GEO. Now we got to reverse GEO. Just when we figured out Google, we got it.
Now you got to do it again.
Oh, geez, that's crazy how things are moving. Well, Adrian, I have to say, definitely was not disappointed. We knew what we were getting. Your brain is way bigger on this stuff than ours. So thanks for imparting that and being part of Shark Bite Week.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And it was fun.
By the way, my brain is just full of AI and movie lines
and cats
and college football and a little bit of cat.
And some cat.
Anything outside of that, I'm an ignorant fool.
Yeah.
Just talk to my wife. So.
Yes, exactly. On that note, I love it. Thank you so much for being unscripted.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming on. Let me come on.
See ya. We appreciate it. Take care, guys. See you soon.
Thanks for listening. Let us know how you like the show. Rate us on Apple and Spotify. Subscribe and follow for more.